Chat, I'm sorry. I had a little bit of an emergency happen just as I was about to go live. So I had to go deal with it. So I do apologize. But I'm here now. I'm live. It's basically 7. It's the week before Christmas. It's the week of Christmas. Does it count if I'm late? Does it count? Really? In your hearts of hearts, your sound mind, you'll look at a man and say, the week of Christmas, you're late. What if I told you I was doing my Christmas shopping? Would you say that then? When I used to have a real job, the last week of Christmas was Christmas shopping week. You know what I mean? I didn't do anything. We just went to work for an hour, went to do Christmas shopping, went back, and then went out again, and then came back. Can you believe? I get paid for that. Not like now, I've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry telling me off. But now I do apologise. I need someone to come up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and Emmys, welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. I hope you're doing well. My name's Mikey, and welcome, and he's really got it, to this live stream. How we doing? How we doing? Thanks so much for tuning in. Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? Sorry, I had something come up. It's quite important. Family stuff's come up, like literally last minute. So I've just had to arrange that, which made me a little bit late, so I do apologise. But I'm back. I'm raring to go. It's Monday, the 22nd of December, which means it's Christmas in like 2 days. And I hope you're all prepared, because I'm not. Tomorrow, Christmas shopping. That's what I'm doing. Have you got all your Christmas shopping done? Are you all raring to go? Are you all done, all excited? Or are you like me, where you're doing it all tomorrow, and you're going to panic on Christmas Eve because you've not got everyone's presents or wrapping paper? It's going to be, it's a bloody nightmare. That's what it is. It's a bloody nightmare. But I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in. I thought we could talk about 11th edition tonight, because that's what Warhammer YouTubers do. It is the end of 2025. There are 6 months, roughly, of 11th... There's 6 months of 10th edition left. So what we have to do now is talk about 11th edition and how shit it's going to be. Because we've all put in our heads, oh, well, it's poo because because war gear costs. It's poo because... Psychic, I don't know. So hello, come in, let me know who you are, where you're watching from, what's going on. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. Let me quickly catch up with chat to say hi to those guys. Where has it gone? There it is. There it is. Hello, hello, hello. Andy Tech Dad, how are we doing? Arhane, hello to you. Things are guaranteed in life. Mikey being late to his own stream. Where's the rest of it? That it? Just that's guaranteed? Mikey late? Great. Death taxes and Mikey being late. That's more like it. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it. Good to be back. Good to be back. Late storm? Nah. Bang on time. Goodies late. I didn't miss anything. See, Stein? Always look on the bright side of life. That's what I say. Mikey's running a bit late. He was queuing for a burger at UKTC event this weekend. He's still waiting. Excellent. How you doing, Tony? How you doing? A lot of people keep asking about the UKTC stuff. I'm just doing some final digging. So I'm going to probably be doing it probably in about a week. Probably after Christmas now. Not after New Year, but after Christmas. I wanted to do it on stream, but all I'll say is I'm very aware of the topic. I have a lot to go through, and I want to make sure it's prim and proper. So I'm probably just going to do it as a video rather than a live stream, because considering, I'm trying not to say too much, but like considering, I want to make sure all my T's and Q's are crossed. You know what I mean? Considering the situation. 10 minutes late means either he's ripped apart his PC or CC Cleaner has wiped his PC. Not this time. No C Cleaner wiping. Thank God. Thank God. No C Cleaner wiping. Fuck that. Matt Riley, how are we doing? How are we doing? Alpha Omega, hi Mikey. Hey dude, how are you? What the fuck is this? A Varak stream? We're going to talk about, like, I've got to be a bit clickbait. I thought it'd be fun to try and work out what we'd like to see from 11th edition, because we aren't far, like, realistically, we aren't far away. You know, this time next year, in 1 year's time, I'll be handsome and good looking as always. You know, but 2, we'll be like in real competitive 40k, and we'll be getting 11th edition codexes in 12 months. You know, we'll probably have 3 or 4 out now, at least 3 or 4 codexes in the next year's time. You know, because if they're just going to follow the same cycle they've been following for multiple rounds now, is that we'll get 11th edition in the summer, and then we'll get like 2 or 3 months of like, well, all the stuff from the start sets is getting released separately, and then we'll have the first codexes out by September. You know, we know that will happen. You know, water is wet. Games Workshop will milk us for codexes. They're the death taxes and new codexes. They're the things that are consistent, you know, or guaranteed. So I thought it might be fun to like kind of look at what I think, maybe what you guys think, and we thought we could like have a look at that and like chat about it as well. I do just need to tell everybody in my Discord that I'm just going live. Chat, very important chat. Important chat. It's very important chat. So, what are you going up to the weekend? How have you been? What have you been doing? What's new? What's occurring? I was working all weekend. I edited the Japan video. Hopefully you saw it. It's been doing pretty well. The Japan video has been doing pretty beast. It's been really good. Hopefully you saw it. If you did, hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you had fun watching it. I thought it was a fun video. It was a bit different for me. You know, it was a bit like a kind of like a go to these places if you go on holiday, and then all the comments are like, these are all really generic, and it's like, that was the point. Some people don't know what the generic places to go are, you know. So I was like, here's all the stuff that I've learned. I was surprised how much I enjoyed the Japan video. Thanks, dude. Thanks, dude. Let me know if you did watch it. If you like, if there's a particular aspect of it you like, let me know. If it's just, I like seeing what was going on, that's something I can't repeat. If it was something about the video that I did, then great, I'll try and repeat it. If it's like, I liked looking around, it'd be like, cool, that's great. That's great. I don't know how to repeat that. I do have one other video. I actually started it last year, because last year I did something similar, but I bought loads of weird shit. Loads of weird hobby tools, like, you know, because they had like so much stuff. They had so much stuff, you know what I mean? Like so many like hobby tools and stuff that I'd never seen before. I bought it all. Like everything I saw, I just grabbed it. And then like I was working on the video, and then like a week later, Squidmar did like a video, "Are Japan hobby tools a scam?" And I was like, cool, I got to shelve that video for a little while, sorry. Got to shelve that idea for a little while because I got robbed by Squidmar. And then I started working on my doing my first Gundam video, and then Squidmar did a video building our first Gundam. Inadvertently copied twice. For the same channel, twice. Can you believe? Can you believe I was copied? Ridiculous. A Japan video, I thought they got shelved. Shelved? Oh, yeah, because of Squidmar. Japan was good. Interesting seeing what the consumer culture around minis, Gundam games is like in Japan. Yeah, I think like just in Japan, there's just a lot more in-person stuff. I feel like in the UK, everything's online. You know? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, Justice. Missed that one. The thing is with like UK, you can get everything online, which is great. There's so many places where you can order stuff and it arrives, but there's just something about like going into a shop. Do you know, like it's basically like buying stuff in Japan. Not only is everything like multiple floors, you know what I mean? It's like everything's like mini malls, like I mentioned. It's weird because it's like it's loads of shops that UK used to have, but Amazon killed it because Amazon's not big. You know, Amazon's not big in Japan. It's there, but it's not huge. It's not like everybody orders off Amazon. It's definitely there, but it's like most people buy on the high street. You know, like Maplins. You know, like that sort of shop. You remember we used to have Maplins in the UK? Does anyone remember it? No, it's a bit of a throwback, a bit random, but now technically it's open. But, like, I don't think they have any stalls anymore. Oh, store locator. Oh, maybe there is. Oh, they have 13 in the UK. No. They have 13 in London. Oh my god, there's so many. I thought Maplin's shut down. They don't have one in Sheffield anymore, that's for sure. But it's like, there's loads of shops like that. You know what I mean? Everything is a bit like that. Like a Maplin. Like, you can just go in and buy, like, cables and, like, electronic bits and bobs. And then, but then there'll be, like, another floor. There'll be, like, computer parts on the shelf. Again, where would you go these days to buy computer parts on the shelf? It just doesn't happen. There's, like, one shop in Manchester, maybe. Now, see me telling us about Woolworths. It's like Woolworths. But, yeah, I'm sure Maplin's shut. Am I crazy? I thought Maplin's shut down. Maplin shut down. Now completely closed in 2018. I'm not going crazy. I'm not going crazy. And now it's open. Oh, fucking AI. It's back. Because I just searched it. It was just there. Anyway. So yeah, so it's just like shops like that, obviously really popular. Things like Amazon killed them. Late stage capitalism killed it. And then yeah, there's like shops like that all over. So like it's just nice to go into like a mall essentially, like a big retail place, and there's fucking Warhammer stuff on the shelf, you know. So it was cool. It was really cool. I'm glad I got to share it with you guys finally. Because again, I was a bit disappointed with myself last year because I kind of shelved that video idea, then never picked it back up. And it's one of those. It's kind of like when you got a creative brain like mine. It's like as soon as you drop something, you move on, you do something else. You know what I mean? So I was a bit annoyed with myself, and I know it's taken me a while to get it out. I mean, I got back just shy of 3 weeks ago. But you know, it's like getting back into the swing of things. That's my first big proper video. And I think it went all right. I think it was good. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It also means I can start using all the stuff that I bought because he's been sat waiting for me to film with it. So I've been slowly like dragging it, filming with it, and then moving it. Like the goof, that guy. Literally, oh, you can put it straight to your shelf. I've been waiting because I needed to film with it in the packet. Obviously, I only did that last week, so it's been like sat on my table for 2 weeks. Shit like that. So, Japan with video is great. Lots of good info for people that have no idea what the location has to offer. Yeah, that was kind of the thing. It's one of those. It's like, if you're going to Japan, here's some like very basic places to go and check out, and that'll get you on your way if you've got literally no idea. If you're not going to Japan, this is what type of places there are. You know, this is the type of shops that you can like buy stuff from, and this is what it's like. So that was kind of like what I was going for. Need to stop CCing Squidmar in your brainstorming emails. Yeah, all those brainstorming emails I have, and then me messaging Squidmar. Squidly must have an agent embedded in Hellstorming. It would make more sense because he just seems to be just on it. Like there's like a few months I just kept like having video ideas and making them, and then Squidmar making videos. So I'd be like, cool, idea shelf. They did have some pretty exquisitely painted Warhammer minis. Yeah, again, just like in a mall, just like 3 of them. That was it. That was the only painted minis they had, but it was cool. You know, at that place in particular. So my dad used to drag me to Maplins back in the 80s. I used to love going to Maplins. It's kind of like CEX is like, I might not mention that in the video as well. It's like the last bastion of cool stuff where to actually go have a look around because there's nothing else like it. So went into a new place on Cass High Street today called BBM Bargains. Swear to God, it's basically Wilco's but with a name confusingly similar to B&M. Cass High Street. Is that Sheffield or somewhere else? BBM Bargains. It does sound like B&M. I imagine that's probably the idea. Did you see any gaming tables in Japan? I didn't. Because a lot of places that I was going to were just shops. You know, none. I didn't go into any. Well, they had gaming table. They didn't have any gaming tables at Warhammer Tokyo in Akihabara. Castleford, right? Okay. They didn't have any. They didn't have any gaming tables in Akihabara Tokyo store and cafe. You know, the one I filmed. They didn't have one. I know there are tables at independent places, but the official Games Workshop didn't. You didn't go to that Warhammer guy's place you did a video on. No, I didn't go there. No. They're the only places I've seen tables, though. Yeah, I didn't go there. No. That was, like, really far out, I think. What was I going to say? We did watch the video about Akihabara once upon a time. Very ages ago. There's a guy called Gaming Beaver. Yeah, he did, like, we watched this on stream a few years ago. He did, like, a video of the place, the Warhammer Akihabara place before it opened. Somehow. Got a free invite. I didn't. But yeah, he did, like, a full thing, because you're not allowed to film in the shop, obviously. Because for some reason, you're not allowed to. But he was, because he had, like, early access. If you want to now, like, have a big look at, like, this place, but there's no gaming tables in here. They've got some demo tables at the front, but it's not like turn up and play, you know. But if you are interested, it's a fairly decent video. But supposedly, like, there's a few places that had shops. There was one in Osaka, but I didn't end up going in. I was like, I've got enough Warhammer. There was one in Kobe, which I took a picture of outside on Instagram. I put, like, guess the fucking Warhammer shop. I don't think that was even open yet, but it's like they had the signage on the front. Someone was in the comments on that video that I put out yesterday saying that, like, Games Workshop's expansion in Japan is really aggressive right now. And it makes sense because we read the FT, guys. We read the Financial Times. We look at where Games Workshop's focuses are because we look at all that shit. But it was just interesting. He said there was, like, 14 opening or opened or built in a year. Which is quite a lot. You know. When I first went, there was one shop. It was the Warhammer shop, you know. But now, supposedly, there's loads of Warhammer stores. Maybe I put Games Workshop Japan, it'll just come up. Wait, do I just go to the Games Workshop website? Am I being an idiot? Am I trying to overcomplicate it? Do they have a store finder? Surely Games Workshop has a store finder. Your local Warhammer store. Japan. Holy shit. Are these retailers? Ah, so they're retailers. So there's one there in Nagoya. How do you know if they're, like, official? Because that's independent. Can you put, like, official? I suppose it'd be called Warhammer, right? No. There's none in Kyoto, for example. Osaka, there's one. Kobe, there's one. That's the one I went to. That wasn't open. Imagine, no. Here, no. So that's 1, 2, 3, because there's obviously one in Tokyo. How many is there in Tokyo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. Oh my goodness, there's so many. There's 5 in Tokyo. There's 1 in Shibuya. There's 2 in Akihabara. Is that? That's Akihabara. That's technically not Akihabara. 5. That's so many, dude. 6. Also technically in Tokyo. 7. 8. 9. Yokohama's not Tokyo, but you know. Close. 10. 1 in Kawasaki. That's so many. Really, I can go full screen. 11. 12. They might be right when they said 14 have all opened really quickly. They might have been right. 13. There's like 5 in all of Florida. Well, they only got 5, and all the trains cost $1 to go around, and it takes 20 minutes. There, like, bearing in mind, if we're just talking Tokyo, right? they're all they're like walking distance, right? They're like walking distance, maybe 20-minute, half an hour walk. These ones, they're all like a 10 to 15-minute train ride. And it cost $1.50 maybe. It costs about 90p to get there. It'd be one train, maybe two at a push. That's how aggressive that is. That is 5 within 30 minutes of each other. That is crazy. That is why this is what we call a loss leader, chat. Holy shit! I never even thought to look at this. To be honest, I never even thought to look. But holy shit! There's one Nagoya. So that's the one. I didn't see that one, actually. Nagoya's a really nice place to go, by the way, chat, if you're ever going to Japan. Like I said, there's like 3. One in Kobe, which is one I went to. One in Denden Town, which I didn't bother going to, because I couldn't be bothered. They do have a cool thing outside of it, though. See if I can find it. They're like a little display outside, which is cute. One minute. It's coming. It's going to get past it's like a toy museum, so I took like 300 pictures there. I'm sure I took a picture. Or a video, even. I can't find it. That was Kobe. That was Denden Town. All this is Denden Town. Where's it gone? But we went back to Denden Town. Maybe it was on the second run. Was it on the second run, chat? 3, 2, 1. Can't find it. Sorry, chat. Anyway, I saw it. It was fun. I'll have to go back and get a picture. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's quite aggressive. So yeah, it's definitely just like where Games Workshop are like trying to expand to, because of the fact that Gundam is so popular, obviously, but like Gundam is so popular, and Games Workshop want to tap into that market because they know it's really popular, basically. But it's interesting because like there's nowhere to play because Tokyo is so small. Well, Japan is like so like space is such a premium, you know. Space is such a premium that you just like there isn't really many places to play. There's loads of places to play card games because they're a lot smaller. There's obviously places to play games in Japan, but just not like in like major cities because that's where the space is a premium. So it's just interesting because like Gundam is such like a yo, Brennan! Brennan, thanks for the 5 gifted, dude. Oh, I appreciate it, man, so much. Thank you so much, dude. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Wearing my Christmas jump t-shirt today, can you see? Everyone got this one? Now I have a Hellstorm bolt rifle. Ho, ho, ho. Classic. Brennan, I'm going to add you to our giveaway, dude, if you don't mind. Brennan! How you doing well, mate? Thank you so much for the 5. 5 gifted. Papaya! Dude, holy shit! Papaya, thank you for the 10 gifted. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate you. That's so kind of you. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, guys. Look at that festive spirit coming in. If you didn't know, everyone who super chats or becomes a member of Gifts and Membership is being entered to win an Iron Halo Strike Force. It contains a Redemptor Dreadnought or Ballistic Dreadnought, 5 Hellblasters, a Company Hero Squad, which includes a Captain, and some Stern Guard, and it comes with a Lieutenant, which is very cool. It's literally a starter army. It's not that many points, but it is a starter army. So basically, anyone who donates super chats, because it's also got a Space Marine upgrade sprue, which I almost wanted to steal. Wanted to put a little red X on the back to say it's missing, because I wanted the Space Marine heads. But I won't. I'll leave it in there for you. So if you want to support the channel, just like those lads, every gifted super chat does do all the things, gets you into the giveaway for this. Just like Andy's doing with the 5. Andy, dude. Oh, the female heads. Yes, the transvestigated heads. Andy, thank you so much for the 5 gifted, dude. Really appreciate it. So basically what we're going to do is on New Year's Eve, I believe it's New Year's Eve when we stream. Yeah, New Year's Eve on Wednesday the 31st. We'll be doing a stream on Wednesday morning. We're going to do 10 random names. 10 random names, and they've got to be at least one unique one. But there's got to be at least 2 unique ones. And then we'll take those random names from this list. There's obviously 200 entries so far. And we'll do a marbles race with those 10 marbles. So we'll take 10 random names from this list. If it's all the same name, we'll keep drawing until someone else is in. And then we'll do a marbles race. So it was fun last time. You guys seem to enjoy it, so we'll do that again. So thank you, everyone, for the support. I really appreciate it. I know you guys... I know times are tough for everybody. I know it's Christmas time, which obviously money's tight as well. I wish I could, you know, give everyone a Space Marine box. Sadly, I do only have one. They are quite expensive. So thank you for supporting me. And it's just my little way of saying thank you to you. Just like give you a chance of, you know, I can't promise anything, but I can at least like try and say thanks by giving you a chance to win something in return for your support. But in return of your support, you do get me making streams and videos and stuff. So it's not the end of the world. Papaya just has to one-up me. That's true. He does love that. There it is. Andy, thank you for the 5 gifted, mate. Really appreciate it. Festive Spirit, only deck gets that as he just gets shot off a planet bowling ball. He does love to get shot off the board. That's true. Merry Christmas, Andy. Merry Christmas, Brennan. And Papaya says, I wish there were female Space Marines. I would have bought 3 boxes. Me too, dude. Me too. Captain Kayari, how are we doing? Thanks for tuning in. What was I saying? I was talking about Japan. It was my final point before I move on. Yeah, the thing is with like Gunpla compared to Warhammer, it's a very insular hobby. Like Warhammer, we like to build models and we like to share them on Instagram. We like to have a good laugh. We like to talk about stuff like that. But usually the main goal, a lot of the time with Warhammer, is to go and play a game. And you just can't really do that in Japan because there's not that many places to do it. It's much less common. And Gunpla is like insular. You can do all of that at home. You can build it, pose it, paint it, whatever. And it's kind of like once it's painted, that's it. So there's very much, I think there's more of a focus in Warhammer as like not a hobby to game, but definitely, this is only like, this isn't fact, this is just what I personally think. But like, I think there's less of an incentive to like buy Warhammer to game, and it's more like buy Warhammer to paint, which I think just means people buy less, you know? Like, we will buy a lot of Warhammer because we like playing games and we want to play new armies and we want to play with new models and we like building them and we like painting them. But, like, the end goal is very clear a lot of the time with, like, us as a community, our community, not just in general. Whereas I think, like, because there's, like, less access, I imagine it's more focused on, like, the building, painting and reading and lore about the game, you know? Like, more of a painter's eye rather than a gaming eye, you know? Play games that you take before deck knock. True. Until they introduce the Gundam miniatures game, which I'm fairly certain will not be played on such a huge table. No, so it's like a coffee table. That is a coffee table size, you know what I mean? So that will be easily picked up by a lot of places, whereas like, yeah, Warhammer, for Japan, I just think it's too big, you know? I think it's too big, which I think why it's so not as popular, because they're just miniatures. And then if you've got like, if you're just doing it for the miniature side of it, obviously Warhammer has the lore, but Gundam has the anime, you know. But like, if you're just looking at it from like a miniatures POV, like there's so many options, you know. We play Warhammer because we like Warhammer models, because we like playing Warhammer. But like I said, our end goal is playing. Whereas like, I don't think that will or can be as big of an incentive there. So I enjoy building painting, but the element of playing a game with those models afterwards is necessary for me. The models need purpose. Yeah, exactly. I think you're definitely not alone in that mindset, you know. I think I'm very much the same when it comes to Warhammer. You know, I think if I didn't have a game to play, I probably wouldn't do miniatures at all, you know, or I wouldn't have got into miniatures. I think now if I lost the game, I would continue. You know what I mean? I would enjoy building and painting miniatures because I just do it. But I think like that initial like getting over the hump of like getting into it is like the game was always the intention for those minis. So putting it on Instagram's fun. Love that. Love that when I get a few likes, you know what I mean? When I get a few comments that say, wow, nice paint job. Love that. That's great. Dopamine, high as a kite. But yeah, it's like the end game, the end goal is like playing with them. So this is why I didn't start with Gundam. Yeah, I think if I don't think I would have got into Gundam if I didn't play Warhammer, you know what I mean? I think that was like natural progression. So honestly wish they'd do better at supporting the smaller 40k stuff too. I think it's one of those, it's like they want to, they have the best intention to do that, but it's just like getting over that hump, you know. You just like, it's quite a big ship to steer, you know what I mean? I agree with you for 40k, but really not an issue I have with other systems. I paint minis for other games I don't play, but 40k I don't want to paint something I'm going to use. Yeah. I do wonder, like, it's just one of those things. It's like, would you paint minis if you didn't play any game ever? You never wanted to play a game. You like games cringe. Would you paint minis today? You know what I mean? That's what I think is an interesting thought process. You know, a little bit like not like an eye opener, but like, yeah, an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one. Anyway, what is an interesting one is all of the rumours that are starting to conjure up, you know. All of the rumours that Games Workshop are starting to lead us down because they're starting to talk about Armageddon. You know, a lot of people are talking about it. Tabletop Tactics did a battle report 2 weeks ago. You know. Oh, a few more comments. Yeah, painting is a thing to itself for me. But would you have got into it? That was the question. Would you have got into painting? Sorry to go back to this conversation. I think I would have got into it eventually because my granddad was like mega into model railways. And I did a few of those with him. So I think I was kind of in it anyway. And that kind of like, I think Warhammer was like the push that I needed to do my own thing in that sort of realm. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's like just interesting. So I painted minis before I ever thought I might play games, but I might be unusual. I don't know what the normal thing is, you know what I mean? It's just something I thought about the other day. So it was like I wanted to paint Warhammer because I wanted to play games because the game was cool, and I was for me I was reenacting the PC game I was playing, Dawn of War, the best game of all time. So yeah, interesting one. Painting FX as a kid. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the real thing that got me in was painting minis was the Lord of the Rings magazine when I was a kid. But when I got like into it, it was Dawn of War, and then I wanted to play games with it because I wanted to reenact what I played in the game. So, but I kind of had like the taster with the Lord of the Rings magazine. My first painting in a while the other day was painting the white parts onto a black puppy ornament so it would match my dog. Oh, Steel Man. That's really sad. It was really cute, but that was a really sad comment to read. Yeah. But they were a really good boy or a cute girlie, depending. I'm sure they were a lovely dog. I also went to Warhammer because we had a club for it at school. And if you're in the club, you got to have your lunch early. Yeah, I used to have a club. We used to go to after school club. It used to be every day but Friday for some reason. I think that because it was in the library when I was in high school. I think the library staff just wanted to go home early. And we had the Citadel Mega Paint Set. Oh, what a time. What a time. Citadel Mega Paint Set. In a metal briefcase. But I can't see an image. Wait, do I? Yeah! Mega paint set. Yeah, 2006. Look at that beast. Look at all those paints. Look at all those paints. So that's what we had at school. It was very sick. However, they bought 1 can of black primer to prime the miniatures. Okay. 1 can of black primer. And obviously that ran out really quickly. This is what we had. We shared this between like 6 of us. It was pretty good, to be fair. The paints weren't too fucked up. You basically took your own brushes because all the brushes had been stolen. But it was pretty good. There's no sand, no PVA glue left, but the paints were fine. But so we had 1 can of spray paint, which ran out very quickly. So the library tutor, Miss Heath, her name was. Shout out to Miss Heath. She was like, oh, what I'll do, I'll buy some black paint. So she comes back the next week. To be fair, I laugh now, thinking about it, probably bought it out of her own pocket, which is obviously like fair play. Massive tub of emulsion black paint from B&Q. Like decorators paint, basically. Emulsion is like, it wasn't glossy. It was matte, to be fair. It was matte black, but it was wall paint. But something about emulsion, I think you could thin it with water. But yeah, all of my minis, when I first got into the hobby, were primed with wall paint. And it, in my head, you know, like kind of like how you remember old graphics way better than you used to. In my head, I think they looked all right. From what I remember, they looked fine. So it was fine. It was basically this. It was basically something like this. You know, bit of black paint. That'll do. It's black. Matte, rich black. That's all we needed. It was matte. Probably wasn't that size. It might have been, actually. It was a tub and a half. But we're all there, basically, in the middle of a table, in a library, right? After school. Everyone's got home. All the bullies are like popping in because they've got nowhere to go. They just want to take the piss of you for playing with toy soldiers. And we're all sat around with a fucking tub of paint in the middle of us, all just like getting like scoops of it on our brush and then putting it on like a bathroom tile. Great times, chat. Great times. And that's what I primed them with when I won that painting competition for the Battle of Macragge set. That I painted because my friend didn't bother and no one else entered. I got that Land Raider. Do you remember that story? Oh geez, no. Oh geez, no. You know, if you haven't heard the story that when Battle for Macragge came out, my local Games Workshop, now called Warhammer Shop, did a painting competition that you had to paint up all of the Battle of Macragge stuff in 4 weeks. And the best painted one would win a prize. And I was the only one who entered, me and my friend. But my friend didn't bother painting any of his. So I painted them all. Or like helped finish them off or something. Very badly, but I was the only one who entered. So I was sat there all day waiting for someone else to enter. And then they basically gave me 3 Chaos Terminators that were metal and a metal Land Raider. Because they were getting rid of them because they were like going out of stock because the plastic ones were out. Some people know that story. They've got the Hellstorm. We're talking about that in the parasocial chat today. We were talking about that in the parasocial chat. They were like, talking about Italian brain rot. And I was like, someone, I think Mercenary said something like, we need Hellstorm brain rot. And I was like, what do you mean we need Hellstorm brain rot? All of my chat have Hellstorm brain rot. Every time you say, does it stack with all his dust? You know? Does it stack with all his dust? Brain rot. Did you know Uriel Ventris can't give Terminators deep strike? Brain rot. What else? What else was said? Mentioning an amble? Brain rot. All brain rot, chat. Don't know if you knew. You talk about kids having brain rot, you're part of the problem. Ambles are brain rot, yeah. The amble meme. If it's a dead meme, you've said it multiple times, it's become brain rot. Staying on rules breaking. That's not brain rot. That was one and done. You know? Invictini. Invictorini in the scene. That's brain rot. What's the 6-7 of Hellstorm Wargaming? I don't know. Probably does it stack? Does it stack with all his dust? He's probably the 6-7 of Hellstorm. What do you think's more brain rot? The Amble comments, or the does it stack with all his dust? Interesting. I don't know. Don't know the answer to that one. Does it stack is way worse? Yeah, I think that's the worst one, you know what I mean? That's the Galileo Tralileo. Andy, thank you for the 5, dude. Andy, thank you so much for the 5. Thank you, dude. That's not brain rot. That's just fun. That's just fun. There's a difference between funny and brain rot. It's brain rot where people keep saying it and no one knows what it means anymore, you know? There's like 5 people that know what it means. That's when it's become brain rot. Amble is the only one that consistently makes my Mikey roll his eyes. Yeah. The thing is with it is the Amble one I never really understood. I think that's why. I didn't understand why. I didn't understand why it became a meme, you know? I didn't understand why it became a thing, but it did. You can't control, like, jokes that happen with the community. And I love them all. They're all very funny, obviously. They're all really funny. Thank you, chat. But, like, that was the one I never got. All the other ones I understood why they became memes. The Youre Adventures one, arguably funny at the time. At the time. Doesn't mean it's forever funny. That's brain rot. But, like, the does it stack is inherently funny because it does keep coming up. Because you're so incensed by that man's list with the Amble. Yeah, it's fucking dumb and it was illegal. But it was dumb and illegal, Justice. I don't understand. I was just mad because it was a legal list. That was it, wasn't it? Because someone won with Leagues of Votan. And then the Leagues of Votan list had ambles in it. And ambles were not allowed. They were illegal. And so they'd run one anyway. You were so mad. I'm mad at cheating? Where's the joke about cheating? Can't believe I was mad at cheating. Can you believe? But like, how many years ago was that as well? 9th edition. 9th edition. It was like late night, like 3 years ago. Isn't that crazy that that still comes up? God, what a time. What a time to be alive. Anyway, chat. Anyway, chat-rinos. Let's talk about the thing we wanted to talk about. Because people will be like, well, you're not talking about it. Late Storm. That's not brain rot. That's just funny. Anyway, Grotman's Calendar Day 22's Tales of the Old Man. Today's Grotman's Calendar sees sheltering gods would take brief respite to stray stories in the smog air of Armageddon. Roars in the bedlam of chaos, endless war, even. I can't read. I can't read. They're going back to Armageddon. They're mentioning Armageddon. This isn't the first time they've kind of, like, hinted at the idea of Armageddon. But there's lots of talk of it. So now people are starting to say, by people we know who, now people are starting to say, oh, this is Yarrick returning, and it's all about we're returning to Armageddon, you know? Even though Armageddon, it feels like they've kind of fucking dragged that one out of the cupboard, like, multiple times, you know what I mean? So the theory, the running theory is that Yarrick's returning. They're going back to Armageddon. It's going back to 2nd edition. We're pulling out the nostalgia bait because we made so much money last year. We need to make more money than the year before that. You know. So the working theory is the 11th edition is probably going to be focused on orcs as being the baddie. That's the rumor. That's the hearsay. You know what I mean? It's all rumors. It's all hearsay. It's all just like guesses, really, at this point. But But the idea is that's what's on its way. Is like we're probably going to get a starter set returning to Armageddon because it seems like a bit rogue. You know? It seems a little rogue to bring up Armageddon after all these years, even though, again, it seems to be like the place to go when they run out of like ideas. Like, what was the last one? Shadow War Armageddon? That wasn't that long ago. The Kill Team before Kill Team, Shadow War Armageddon. They've done a few things though. It's just a bit again, it's just a bit odd, you know. Yeah, Blood Angels versus Orks is like what, 2nd edition, right? Yeah, it's like 2nd edition box set. So if they were like, when was 2nd edition? Like 96, 97? Something like that. To kind of rehash it. We're coming up to the 40th anniversary. When was it? 86, right? Space Marines. When was Space Marines? Rogue Trader Warhammer. The 1986. It was 2025, Mikey. First edition. When did it come out? 1987. Okay, so we're coming up. We are coming up to the 40th anniversary. So it wouldn't be crazy for them to be planning something big soon, you know? It could be interesting for them to do the Blood Angels Orc thing as like they could do Crimson Fist as Orcs, you know, for a 40th anniversary. Hey, you start that with that shit about 1987 being 40 years ago. Bro. It was 39 years ago. Not even nearly 40. It was 39 years ago. When did Games Workshop start making... When did Warhammer start? When was Warhammer? Was it? Because this was the first edition. They didn't have anything else before this, did they? They had a reprinted Rogue Trader Lashes. Remember do that again, or perhaps the Book of the Astronomicon. They did Rogue Trader for the 35th anniversary, wasn't it? Or 30th? Yeah, I've got 83 in my head for some reason. I just don't know why. Yeah, 87. So we're coming up to the 40th anniversary. We're coming up to 11th edition launch. You know? That was more than 4 years ago. Yeah, for Games Workshop, right? Games Workshop is definitely... It's 1975. But yeah, I think Rogue Trader Rulebook got reprinted for like the 30th anniversary. Maybe the 35th. But we're on our way to the 40th. So I think... Whilst we're on our way to 11th edition, there's also room or scope for Games Workshop to do some real crazy shit. To like 40 years of 40k, you know? Here's the 2nd edition starter set, but all new models, you know? Here's the 1st edition starter set with all new models or whatever. Was Blood Angel vs. Orcs the first real starter set? Because obviously Rogue Trader didn't really have one, right? It wasn't like a real starter set. Something like that. However, what I thought would be interesting is obviously we have rumors, we have ideas, etc. But if you could ask a certain someone, maybe red coat, white beard, what you wanted for Warhammer 11th edition, Warhammer 40k 11th edition. What would be your 40k 11th edition wish list? The red gobbo, yeah, the red gobbo, because obviously nothing can be sacred with Games Workshop. It all has to be Warhammer themed. If you could what would you hope to see if you had some sort of control? You could change one thing about 10th edition, or you could add one thing to 10th edition to make it the best edition ever, what would your wish list be? You know, it could be rules, it could be models, it could be ideas, it could be anything, you know. Like what would your ideal edition look like? Less Space Marines. I think we might struggle. I think we might struggle. Fuck secondaries. Fuck secondaries. I think we might need to be more specific. Because I don't mind secondaries. Because I think the idea of playing a game with your opponent where you're doing little missions is quite fun. You know? But screenshot it. I don't think secondaries are a problem, to be honest. I think it'd be nice if there were more ways to play Warhammer. I think that'd be good. If there was more ways that were like actually enticing to play Warhammer, it'd be really good. Because we've been kind of playing the same. We've been playing like the same 5 to 6 missions for 3 years now. You know? We've had the same. The primaries haven't really changed. The secondaries haven't really changed too much. They've just been cleaned up. And then the mission rules, the tertiary things that we had, were taken, like, came out, and then we used Chilling Reign, then they were expanded, and then they got taken away. So now we just play Chilling Reign again, where there's no extra, it's just take and hold. Stand on objectives, score some cards. I don't mind the idea of secondaries, I like them, I think they're quite fun. I think it'd just be nice to have, like an expansion of, like, ways to play, match play, you know, and actually, like, yeah, expand the ways you can play, like, interact with 40k. Because, like, there's Crusade, very intense narrative gaming. There's tournament play, very much like a bit of a tough one to get people over the barrier, you know what I mean? And then there's, like, this weird middle ground where people kind of play tournament games casually, but it's just the same game that everyone else is playing, and then people get mad about it and blame tournament players. I think secondaries are fine. I think more ways to interact with missions. Because I just think the problem is missions are really stale, you know. I think like missions and stuff is just like the way we play Warhammer. Why don't he? What's going on? Section. Subheading. Title. Section. Title. Subtitle. Nice. Nailed it. How do you use Notepad, anyone? I don't remember. Body. That's what I want. Body. Yeah, I think just like more interesting ways where like more interesting missions, because the same missions for 3 years is a bit of a piss take, especially when they start charging like £25 a year for decks, you know what I mean? Yeah, like a side note, it's like Return of Capture X. Bring back Capture X objective. Because I'm the only person who sells numbered objectives. It's genius. They were fun. Like, look at like Maelstrom decks of old, which is basically what we play now. I wonder if we can see like a Maelstrom of War deck. I wonder if there's like some missions in there that we could just yoink. You know what I mean? Do we have the original? I'd love to see them. I bet the Maelstrom War Dead now looks well poo. Deck list? Does anyone have one? Send me a list. Send me all the missions. Oh, what were they? Tactical objective deck. That's what we need. Oh, but that's just going to come with it normal, isn't it? 8th edition. 8th edition. Tactical objective deck. Get fucked, eat shit. Wonderful. I don't remember these ones. I do remember these ones. Tactical objective for 8th edition. These are the 8th edition ones. Do you know what we want? 7th edition. These are the ones in my head. I remember these ones. We used to get faction specific ones as well. Oh, I want to see them though. I want to just look. I want to look at a list. Give me a fucking list of them. They were little tiny. They were tiny and sideways. It was cute. Tactical objectives coming to a device near you. Come on, give me the website that's definitely still up. Derp Studios to have them create a tactical objectives application for a myriad of devices. Imagine it's still up. It's not looking good, bro. Nope. Games Workshop has signed an agreement with Derp Studios. Imagine saying that in 2025. Imagine. This is 2015, different time. A tactical objectives deck application for a myriad of devices. You can kind of see a few of them. Secure objective. Blood and Guts. Score 1 bitch point if an enemy unit is completely destroyed during the assault phase of your turn. If you destroy 3 or more units, score D3 instead. That could work. Score 2 points if you kill a unit in the fight phase. Score 3 if you kill 2. That kind of works. You know? Oh god, there's so much potential there. There's so much potential that they could just go back and look at. Oh, these are the Harlequins ones. Oh, they're just to buy. What the fuck? Just show me a picture. I don't know if we got them, bro. Ah! There's so much potential for, like, interesting secondaries to add to them as well, because, like, they're so minimal these days. But yeah, so I think, like, bring back Capture Objective deck, 7th edition. 7th edition secondaries. Then mix it up. I think that's the problem, right? It's just like, I think the problem is like 40k is like a bit, it can get very stale very quickly. Just like guys, why do you still have these things? Do you actually still have these things? What the fuck? All this shit is long gone. Anyway, we said fuck objectives. I think fucking objectives probably not the best idea. No sustain plus lethal combo. You don't like the sustain plus lethal combo? So like rule stacking. I don't think rule stacking's a problem, right? I wouldn't say rule stacking's a huge problem. Fly keyword over walls is horrible and needs to be normalized. Yeah, fly needs fixing. Fly doesn't work. Because if you didn't know, fly, the fly keyword, basically lets you move over models. That is about it. that is pretty much it. It doesn't do much else. It allows you to fly over models. It allows you to fly over stuff in the charge. It doesn't allow you to fly over stuff in the charge phase. I don't think. Maybe it does. Maybe flying over the charge phase is right. Did you know you can't move through your own models in the charge phase? There's very clear rules in the 40k rulebook about being able to move through friendly models during the movement phase, but you can't do it during the charge phase. Isn't that weird? If you're running slightly too fast, you can't go through your friends. If you're running in a straight line and moving 2d6 rather than 6 or 12 or 15 or 20 inches, you can move through your friends, but if you're rolling dice for it, you can't. Thought that was weird. But yeah, fly just doesn't work. Now the problem is that fly has been such a weird rule. The reason fly works the way it does now, I'll explain to you. Because fly used to be you measure like in direct lines. So there used to be a unit famously called the Smash Captain, all right? So the Smash Captain was famously a very good unit. He was Death Company. He could fly, obviously, because he's got a jump pack. He had a Thunder Hammer, so he used to do loads of damage. He had a Storm Shield, so he had an invuln. He also, because he was Death Company, had a Feeling of Pain, and he had loads of attacks. It was very brutal. Now, what happened was, is the captains, the Smash Captains, were really good because they could fly. So they could move like in straight lines. Because if it was like a big building here, now obviously infantry doesn't matter, but like if there's a thing here and they were like up here on the like a level or something, when they charge, they used to draw diagonally, right, to charge. Let's say that's 7 inches. But what people realize is trying to measure diagonally is really fucking hard, okay? Because you can't measure through physical objects, you know? You can't measure through physical objects. So what they started doing is saying that fly ignored all vertical distances, you know? So vertical, no, ignore it. So what started happening, let's say this was like, I don't know, an Imperial Knight. You know, it looks like a Imperial Knight. Here's his little battle cannon. You know, pew, 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 pew. And here's his little chainsword. That wasn't very good. This is a little Imperial Knight, as you can see. And obviously you charge to the base. What happened was, Blood Angels were deep striking up here. So this distance was more than 9 inches. But they said, do not measure the vertical distance when measuring fly. So you used to be able to deep strike up here because it's 9 inches. And then you used to charge 2 inches. And then move straight down for free. So what happened was, Blood Angel Smash Captains were deep striking on top of buildings and then charging 2 to 3 inches to get the base off the building and then falling straight down because they've got a jump pack because they can fly. And charging into knights and killing him in a turn that they couldn't interact with because obviously the thing is with it is deep striking onto buildings, especially when buildings have like little ledges and stuff like that, is there's no line of sight, you know? There's no line of sight. So you couldn't see it to overwatch it. And it just went 3 inches off the wall and then just like smashed everything in. So that's when they started. That's as their fix. They went, oh, you can't fly through walls anymore or fly up or down over walls. Because it's too confusing to measure diagonally. Because it's too awkward. Because you can't measure up to a building. Because you got to measure diagonally. And we can't have things landing on top and then deep striking down. Now, they've mostly fixed it because you can't deep strike horizontally anymore. You can't, like, all of this is blocked off because you've got to be more than 9 inches horizontally. So they kind of fixed the real problem with fly, is the own rules that they changed. And I think most people would understand now that to measure, if you were stood here, you would have to measure up to here. So let's say that's X. And then you'd have to measure across to fit the base, which is Y. But that's confusing because that's two different measurements you got to add together. Whereas most people understand if a base is here and it wants to go here, it can go this distance, you know what I mean? And then that can be Z. That was only a problem in early 8th. It was a problem for a lot of 8th, not just early 8th. It was a lot of 8th. A good 6 to 8 months. So that's why Fly's fucked, but it does need fixing. It's such a bad rule. It's such a bad rule right now. It doesn't work. It's so bad. Brennan says, number one fix. Number one wish. Number one wish. Fix war gear. If war gear is free, that don't have optional weapon, where there is no reason to not take them, or weapons that are just better in every way than the other option. Yeah, war gear costs are a problem, aren't they? The problem with war gear is like the concept of it makes so much sense, you know? Rather than having individual war gear costs that will just have it as all one cost, it's all baked into the one cost. You don't need to worry. Just put on what you want and it's all the same cost. I understand that 100%. That makes so much sense as like a game design, as for a consumer and stuff like that. The problem is like, as Brennan has pointed out, the problem is that you get like must takes, you know, like Space Marine Devastators. They are an older kit. No one uses them, but like just as an example, Space Marine Devastators are like, let's say they're 100. I can't remember the points here. Let's say they're 100 points. As standard, Space Marine Devastators come with 4 bolters and a guy with a bolt pistol and a chainsword. You know? Whereas they can actually take 4 las cannons, 4 plasma cannons, 4 missile launchers, 4 heavy bolters. They can take 1 heavy bolter, 1 las cannon, 1 plasma cannon, 1 heavy bolter, or whatever. And the points cost for both units, if you took one with just bolters and one with all the heavy weapons, any combination you like, they are exactly the same points. So, like, that is definitely an issue, because when it comes to, like, people joining the game, when it comes to people building models, when it comes to tournaments, when people have models that are clearly, like, from older editions, is that the idea of just running what's best, because obviously you should, which I don't disagree with. I think everyone should run the best thing possible if they can, as long as they're not cheating. I don't mind people saying, you know, I've brought the strongest version of this unit, because obviously that makes so much sense. The problem is like, you can be penalised for the models because you built the wrong ones. And then there's all this talk, the idea of like WYSIWYG going out the window, when really what it means is like 1 or 2 tournaments, especially like the UK, 1 or 2 tournament scenes don't bother enforcing WYSIWYG. And then you look like an arsehole when you do have to enforce WYSIWYG, because that's what the rules are. You're supposed to use what's on your models. So when I look at them as an opponent, I know what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at 4 dudes with a bolt gun. I'm looking at 4 las cannons. You know what I mean? So what they need to do is either add war gear cost back in. Here's the base cost for the unit. Here's a base cost if you want to double the unit, because I don't even think that's a problem. I think it's sometimes annoying when a unit is like, you're like 10 points over, and rather than just dropping a guy, you have to put in a whole extra unit or remove a whole unit. Is that I think weapon costs, I don't think weapon costs is that bad. Or if they're gonna do it, make the weapon costs, I know, the narrative player's gonna be mad. Remove some of the flavour and make all the weapons functionally the same, or like a lot closer to what they should be. You know, make them very clear options, but make them actually like both worth taking. Because why would you ever take 5 Devastators with bolt guns when you can have las cannons? Why would you ever do that? You know, there's like no reason not to do it. So I don't, the idea of not paying for it when I'm buying a unit and I'm paying the premium because they can take these heavy weapons and I don't take them, I'm punishing myself for no reason. Yeah, like Primaris and like newer stuff definitely is less of a problem. It definitely feels like new units that have come out in like the last 4 to 5 years are like less of a like much less of a problem. But there are still problems, you know. And the problem is like, you are totally right. There are less of a problem now, but I don't think that means it's okay to let the problems just like fade away over like the space of 10 years. It doesn't take them a lot to fix it, you know. I personally don't think it takes them a lot to fix this sort of stuff. Either make the options mandatory, set the options so it's always the same cost, because it's always the same, or make the options, if you have options, similar so the points actually matter, you know. A guy with a bolt gun and a guy with a las cannon should be different points. So they've done that with like Vanguard veterans, right? They just gave up with the idea of trying to balance Vanguard veterans and just went Vanguard veteran heirloom weapon, or whatever they're called. They might even just be called Vanguard weapon now. You know, they got fed up of it. Clearly, they went, fuck it, we ball, and we'll just call the chainsword, the lightning claw, the thunder hammer, and the power fist strength 5 -2 1 damage. They made it a lightning claw, and everyone's like, yeah, fair enough, whatever. Even though you used to be able to take a thunder hammer and a power fist, a thunder hammer and a chainsword, a thunder hammer and the storm shield still does stuff, which is surprising, you know. But like, yeah, I think, yeah, I don't care what the weapon's called. Just like, don't fucking put the onus on me as a TO or me as an opponent to be like, they're the wrong guns, mate. Well, why wouldn't I take the best one? Of course you would take the best one. Why wouldn't you? You've glued the wrong ones on. Whose fault is it at that point, you know? You know, like, whose fault is it? Is it the person who glued the guns on? Or is it like Games Workshop because they didn't like fix the rules to make it work, you know? Here's all these options. A lot of, like, Scourges are a prime example because they're actually a unit that people use. They've actually got 2 versions of it, like Scourges and then Scourges with heavy weapons. But then even the heavy weapons are still a bit all up in the air, right? See, on the flip side, I hate all combat weapons being folded into one profile. I think, like, from a flavor and narrative point of view, yeah, it's fucking dumb. But, like, at least everyone's on the same page. When I look at a unit, I know what it should do. Rather than I look at a unit, see what it's got, and then it does something else, you know? I'd rather it be more rolled into just what the unit functionally does. So then people can have a lot more flavour when it comes to building models and painting models and whatever and converting them. But also when I look at a unit, I know what I should expect. I think what I personally find annoying as a player, and as a TO as well, because it just does come up, is people running it as one gun and then having the model as another. It's fucking annoying because it's like, when I'm playing my game, I'm looking. I don't want to ask you every time what they're equipped with because I can't remember, because I keep looking at a bolt gun and it's actually, you know, it's the Fist of Gork gun. It's not a shooter. It's the Fist of Gork or whatever. You know, it's like, if it's one character with an enhancement, whatever, I can kind of remember one guy. But it's when it's like 4 different units that are all different and what they should be. I don't mind in casual games because I don't mind, because I'm usually working with my opponent. But if I'm trying to play like a game in like a tournament or whatever, I don't want to keep asking, what's that supposed to be again? You know? Yeah, most people who play competitive were taking the same combat weapon. Because it led to people, like, just going, like, either having bad conversions or having to source minis or parts or 3D printing parts by having the best one, and then they put, like, 1 in the kit. You know, there's, like, 4 options. There's 4 combi weapons. The combi melter's the best one. They put 1 in there. You can take 7 for some reason. So people will go out and 3D print 7 combi weapons. I remember, famously, before 3D printers were a thing, which obviously wasn't long ago, when Deathwatch storm bolters were absolutely broken. So you used to have a Deathwatch with storm shields and storm bolters, and I don't think they got any storm bolters in the kit. Maybe they got 1. So I know a guy who bought like not hundreds, but like 30 or 40 Munitorum field crates. Do you know the crate terrain? Because I don't know if you knew, because no one glues them on because they'll obviously snap off. no one glues them on because they will obviously snap off. And I know he bought loads because I bought them all, a lot of them off him. It's like, I don't know if you knew, but they come with bolters. They come with storm bolters. So this guy bought loads and took the storm bolters out of the kit and put them on his deathwatch. Because that was the only way to get hold of them. Yeah, we had 3D printers, but they were poopy back then. They weren't very popular like that, not like they are now. If you want fucking 100 storm bolters, you can have them at the end of the day, usually. But this is when we were really like in the weeds of it. But yeah, I think war gear is a problem. Like, war gear costs don't work right now. Twin grips, yeah. Those crates are still good too. Yeah, the crates are great. It's just no one sticks the bolters on them. Because why would you? They'll just snap off. Could he just glue 2 bolt guns together? It doesn't look like a storm bolter. Doesn't have the casing. Doesn't look right. They gave us power level by the back door. Yeah, we've mentioned it a few times, but old Robin Cruddus from War Cradle now, jumped ship after he realised that making power level mandatory by calling it points was a bad idea. So now he doesn't work for Games Workshop anymore. Don't think those two things are linked, but it's funny to bring up. But yeah, war gear, definitely an issue. Definitely a problem. Wishlist, less rerolls, more unit customization, better support for smaller games, no random charges. There's a lot of things. I think less rerolls is one that comes up a lot. Chat, I don't mind rerolls. Is that crazy? Mikey likes rerolls. Chat, I love rolling dice. There seems to be just like a general hatred towards rerolls. I love rolling dice. And you know what I love more than rolling dice? Rolling shit with dice, rolling them again, getting a good result. And that's so beast. I think that's so sick. What? A Space Marine player loves rerolls. I know, can you believe? You're a Space Marine player, of course you like rerolls. Like, I don't think they're fun. I play Warhammer because I like dice. I like my little math rocks that go, you know? I like my little math rocks that I go on the board. Sometimes they knock the terrain over. Sometimes I knock models over. Sometimes I chuck dice on the floor and have to fish them off from under the table. I like it. I think there should be more rerolls. You know? I don't think we roll enough dice. My name's Joe and I love rerolls. Joe, come on, back me up. Don't you play Warhammer to roll dice? It's like little gambling every time. It's like, oh, I could roll a 6. You know? Boop. Every die should be re-rolled even if it's successful. You know what? I agree. I think re-rolls are fine. Rerolls are a problem when it starts with crit fires, lethal, and sustained. Now this I can get with. This is a valid criticism. Mikey likes rerolls. Reroll fishing needs to be fixed. How does it actually take to reroll? Not that long. Reroll fishing needs to be fixed. So I think the problem is back in the day, 8th edition, not that long ago, not that old, 32 in a month. Chat, I'm 32 in a month tomorrow, can you believe? I know it's Christmas in 3 days, but in 1 month tomorrow, I turn 32. I'm not that old. I'm actually quite young for my age. In 8th edition, every reroll ability was reroll failed. All right. Reroll failed. And then what they did is they introduced modifiers. Okay, they introduced modifiers. And then because they did that, modifiers changed how the dice work because of how the technicality of modifiers work. So now something that would normally hit on a 3 rolls a 3. It didn't fail because if you would have failed, you re-rolled. But then the modifiers make you fail. You know? The modifier makes you fail. But you didn't fail, but the modifier means you miss. Very dumb. So then what they said was re-roll hit rolls, which allows you to re-roll stuff even if it's successful. Which has led to the term fishing. Because you're trying to go for a 6, you know? So I think re-roll fishing needs to be fixed. I think if you're going to have re-rolls, which I don't mind, re-roll fail is fine. I think re-roll fail is fine. Because if you wound on 4s and you roll exclusively 4s, but a 6 to wound does like 9 mortal wounds instead, are you going to keep the 4s? Are you going to re-roll to try and get some 6s? You know? That's where we're at the minute. It's like with lethal, it's like with sustained. You kind of like, you put in a position, if you have re-rolls and then a stack for the fishing, is that you put in a position, it's like, I do it all the time. I've been playing this new Knights list that has sustained 2. And I have a re-roll, a hit, and a wound roll on Knights. So every time I roll to hit, I'm incentivized. If I roll to hit, even if I hit with all of them, I should re-roll 1. Because I've got that chance of rolling a 6 to hit, which will actually generate 3 hits rather than 1. Now I can see what people are saying. No re-roll, no crits on modified or re-rolled dice. I think that complicates it too much. I think just re-rolling failed would make sense. You know? Because then if I roll 3s to hit and I'm sustained 19, I'm sustained 20 on every 6, and I roll 25 dice and they're all 5s or less, I should re-roll every single dice, or at least a lot of them. Whereas if they all hit, why am I re-rolling? You know? So I think just re-roll fishing is the issue. I think personally, re-rolling and allowing you to fish. So re-rolling successfully is the dumb bit. Personally, like maybe people disagree, but I think you should only re-roll actual fails. Because then the thing is with it is when you're rolling dice, you don't need to think about it. Oh, it's 3s to hit, re-rolling 1s and 2s. You know, if you've got a modifier, you might as well to hit. It's 4s, re-rolling 1s, 2s, and 3s. That just makes sense. We used to have it that way, and I think that's okay to bring it back. I think re-roll the hit roll, re-roll the wound roll, etc., is extremely dumb. It's extremely dumb. Like, why? Why can't I fish for stuff? You know? I honestly don't think fishing is a big of an issue as just re-rolling massive quantities of dice. The thing is with it is if you're not fishing, if you're not re-rolling everything to try and get loads of sustained or loads of lethals or loads of dev wounds or whatever, you're not re-rolling massive quantities of dice unless you roll really shit, you know? You know what I mean? It's like if you've got 10 wounds and you re-roll fails and you've rolled 1-1 and all the rest are 4s or whatever, and they've all wounded, you only need to roll a single dice. If on that 6 something crazy happens, you're probably going to go, I'm going to re-roll at least 1 because that's failed. Maybe I'll roll 3. Maybe I'll just re-roll all of them, you know? Super anecdotal, but my re-roll fishing always ends up worse. Well, that one we can't put on the wish list, I'm afraid. That doesn't work. Des sent me a picture. Holy shit, he's got the 8th edition tactical objectives. Classic. It's like we're still playing the game. It's like still playing the same game. Secure objective 1 to 6. Defend objective 1 to 6. That's pretty good. 2 points if you control objective marker 1 at the end of 2 consecutive turns. That's basically different. We've got defend stronghold as our home one. I think numbered objectives need to come back. I totally agree. What else we got? We got Witch Hunter, kill an enemy psyker. Oh, these are all so good. And it's just like redraw if you put more in and then go like redraw if you don't have it, you know? Scour the skies, kill a unit that has fly. Assassinate, big game hunter, kill a unit with 10 or more wounds. This is 8th edition. These were like already in, you know what I mean? When these prior choices received, what a classic. When this tactical objective is generated, immediately generate a bonus tactical objective. This does not count towards your number of tactical objectives active. Your warlord is the only unit that can be used to achieve the bonus tactical objective. They must be the only unit to use control objective marker, the unit that destroyed last model enemy unit, and so on. If you achieve this, you score the number on there and an additional 3. Oh, brilliant. What a wonderful time. No prisoners, area denial. Psychological warfare, make units fail leadership. Imagine they had this. Oh, that'd be so funny. That'd be so good. Master Warp, cast powers, and then Kingslayer. Kill a warlord. What was the last one? They've got so much to play with here, haven't they? Supremacy, hold 3. Domination. I love that. Win more. You're holding every objective marker. Here's D3 plus 3 points. Overwhelming firepower is just kill stuff in the shooting phase. Blood and guts is kill stuff in the fight phase. Advance, score 1 if no unit within your deployment zone. Just run to the middle. Love that. Oh, these are so good. Mission critical objective. When it's generated, roll d6. So score 1 if you control the corresponding objective marker. So that's just another. There's basically 7 of these because one's random. There's basically 7. No, there's 13 secure objective cards because there's 1 to 6 twice, and then there's mission critical where you randomly roll 1. Oh, that's so good. Ah, there's so much they could take from that and learn. There's so much they could take to that, Des. Appreciate it. There's so much they could learn from that. Anyway, yeah, I think fishing's fucked. That's basically what I wanted to say. I'm having to scroll from the bottom because this has been a long chat. It's good though. I think it's interesting. Add random terrain setup so narrative players stop complaining that it makes it feel too match play. What do you mean by random terrain setups? If you buy the Codex book, you get the updated version of codexes for all of the factions through the app, so you refer to them when you play against them. I think, yeah, that would be nice, but like, then that's like going games where you're going, this year or the past 3 years we've been able to charge for every single codex, and it's probably led to an increase in sales. So what we should do is just sell 1 codex, and then everyone has all of the rules. Then you're just asking to buy, like, I think there should be a rules subscription service. Jokes aside, I think there should be a rules subscription service because I think that makes more sense than selling codexes. But they have a book department, so they're just being cringe about it, you know. But I think codex / rules subscription would work better. I mean, really, we want to be able to buy rules and they last forever. But, like, if they're going to do it, just do a rules subscription so I can pay a monthly fee or whatever. An extra Warhammer Plus subscription level. And then get rules for free, you know? I think that would make more sense. Because, like, having to pay £30 or £35 or even £40 for a codex. And then I can list build 1 list unless I pay for an app to do the list building. I think people would be happy to pay a rules subscription service, you know? I think that would just make... I think people would, like, be annoyed about it at first, but then when they go, well, I don't actually have to buy codexes anymore. So I end up I spend 40 or more pound a year on the subscription, but, like, I can cancel it whenever I want. People won't, But I think that'd work. I hate subscription services, but I think the way Games Workshop are doing it right now is just absolute dog poo. I think it's absolute dog poo right now. Allow characters to leave and join units. How many characters stand around when his bodyguards dies lame? Yeah, I think they'd have to nerf characters then, though, wouldn't they? Because if they're absolutely broken, you just protect him, and then as soon as he dies, he just joins another unit and gives it to them. You know? It will have to be a reasonable amount, but having to buy a physical codex, I don't use the rules digitally the way I do one, is insane. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the War Machine subscription is good. The War Machine subscription, the way they do that is really good. Because you get like Darker Day says, you get rules, lore books, like ebooks and stuff like that, and a free model every year. Fix the character abilities turn off once they're dead. Do you remember when characters were like just guys who stood in the open? I didn't mind that. I thought that was fun. Librarian loses his psychic hood just because his friends are no longer there. Yeah, readdress when leading. I think it's like feels so out of place sometimes. I think it feels so out of place sometimes when it's like this unit is extremely combat focused. So what we're gonna do is only when he's got mates near him he gets sustained hits in combat. That does seem weird. You know, like why is that? Where it could be like this unit and the unit is leading gets sustained. Yeah, like Duck has said, like, why does the librarian lose his psychic hood? I think if it's when leading, it should be something unique, you know? Or, like, would make sense attached to a unit. I'm just trying to think of an example. You know? I think they just need to readdress it so all the rules aren't completely busted. I don't think a librarian with a 4+ invo is mega busted. But, like, the fact that it turns off when he's not leading out is weird. Yeah, I agree. Point, I actually like the old way of having characters join units when they are close to them. Yeah, I don't think it'd be so much of a problem. I don't think it's bad, but then if you got it in like current state, you just get like broken characters just like with other units waiting for the first one to die or whatever. Leaders should get their rules when they are solo. It's so dumb they don't. Yeah, I think when leading needs to be readdressed for certain rules. I'm scrolling past a bit because I'm still on the first point in the chat. I'm reading latest chat, but I've got my other one open. Like, I'm so far back. I'm so far back. This is still talking about like war weapons, you know, war gear cost. We were 3 points ahead, and I'm still there. So just give me a minute. I'm just trying to catch up. If you posted your suggestion, I've missed it. Feel free to post it again. We're a dice reroll. You're just gonna have to post it again, chat. If you've posted something I've not said it, feel free to post it again. Is that not realistic? If he's leading the squad and it dies, he's gonna fall back to lead the next squad. Yeah, I totally agree. Realistically, that's what a commander would do. But like, we're talking about like a board game. You know what I mean? I think there's like an interesting, like, yeah, technically that's probably what would happen in a real war. But I think mechanically it's a bit odd, you know. I still think units should lose data sheet abilities when battle shocked. Can still fight / shoot, but do not to do anything special. Yeah, battle shock needs to be more of a detriment. I think the way that AOS does battle shock now, or they don't. Do they even have battle shock? The way they used to do battle shock is if you failed it by whatever you failed it by, you lost models equal to it or wounds equal to it. You know. But then they got rid of it completely in AOS. I've fucking forgotten edition. But then they got rid of it completely. So I think it's odd that like battle shock is like not that important really. I just think I honestly think if you battle shocked, you should be able to shoot. You know? Maybe not, let's not have army-wide battle shock trigger abilities at the same time. But like, a battle shock should be, if you fuck this, you fucked it. Only hits on 6s when battle shock. That wouldn't be like snapshot, yeah, like only snapshot. You know? Only snapshot. Or something. And snapshot is an old term where you can only hit on 6s. Because it just, like I said, it's just like, oh, you can't hold objectives. Okay, well, I'll YOLO this unit and disrupt your army, and another unit will hold the objective instead. Because ultimately, they just work the same, really. They can't hold objectives, you can't use strats. You don't always want to use strats on that unit, and sometimes that unit just wants to go kill stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you've got, like, a brick of 20 corn berserkers that are now battle shocked, you don't care too much. Oh, you might not be able to use a strat to make them better. You know? You might not be able to, like, use a strat to make them better, but, like, the corn berserkers are still going to do the thing that you brought them onto the battlefield for. They're going to go kill stuff. Yeah, we need an address to way battle shock works. We can't have army-wide trigger battle shock. We can't have everyone within 12 is -3 battle shock or whatever. But I think it needs to be more interesting. So yeah, battle shock needs to work. There's another one that I saw. Make battle line compulsory again. Make battle line great again. Magaba. Can we make battle line great and compulsory again? Magaka. That's what I say. Mebagaka. All the time. Every day I say it, to be honest. Make battle line great. I can't spell. Battle line great and compulsory again. Yeah, I think I've been definitely a symptom of this, but like, I think force organization is just such. The way that force organization doesn't exist is so poo. It is so poo right now. Yeah, I think they need to add what battle line is.
Mikey! Super chat £5. Love having
no! Thanks for the 5, dude.
The skip ad thing doesn't come up. Here's a $5 calls him ranting about ads.
Thanks for the 5, dude. Really appreciate it. Fucking legend. Let me get you to the giveaway. Feel free to put ad blocker on for the rest of the day on me, mate. Don't you worry about it. Stick ad block on for the rest of the day. Yeah, I think they need to add what is battle line. I don't think they can make cultists not battle line if they're going to make battle line. But then the problem was in cultists being battle line is everyone just took 2 units of cultists and never saw Chaos Space Marines. But if they made the units actually worth taking, they should be good. You would take them. But I look at like the armies I've been running: triple dreadnought, Stormraven, Gulliman, Calgar, and then some scouts or whatever. You know? So I think battle line need to be interesting. They need to be functional. They need to be good units that you want to take, and I think they should be compulsory. You know? I think force organization, 1 HQ, 2 troops, was good, always will be. You know? The good old combined arms. We need it. We need it. Come back. We miss you. What do you think about AOS's regiment system? Certain heroes can only bring certain units. They pulled that back on that a bit, though. I don't mind the regiment system, but I think the way that that's implemented for the like deployment and stuff is a bit weird. You know what I mean? I think just like a general force organization, a very generic one. Even like characters making certain sort of battle line. I mean, I know we have that in detachments. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's fine. You want to run the right. You want to run the right scars. If you want to run the white scar detachment and they make Outriders battle line, that makes sense still, just with the force organization. I don't agree with that. Lack of force organization allows you to run more themed armies like Necron Destroyer Horde. Doesn't the Necron Destroyer one do the same where it makes stuff battle line? Or am I making that up? You know, or if they're going to do that, they need to add it more, you know. A Destroyer Lord can bring destroyers as battle line. You know. I think add a bit more of that and then put force organization back in. Or make it part of the detachment. You know what I mean? Like White Scars. I'm pretty sure White Scars lets you take Outriders as battle line. Oh, there is one of them at least. Maybe Raven Guard. Raven Wing, sorry. Wow. 25% could work, but it's also like, it's very dated. I think just having units, you know, you could be like, this, so much of your army has to be battle line, but then, yeah, it just gets like, it's like, it gets into the weeds of it, of like, what's good and what's not. I would 100% have Scorpex as battle line. Maybe able to run 6 units, yes, please. I guess that's kind of the problem if you start having loads of things that make battle line, make stuff battle line. Do you need 6 units of battle line, like, ever, except for guardsmen? And even then, guardsmen, they have loads of different units. Do you need battle line to have 6 units? Oh, that's the Steam item bottom, excellent. It was rule of 3 before rule of 3, and I think better. I had certain detachments to get more than 1 or 2 heavy units, support units. Yeah, that's true. Sicarius, make Victrix battle line. Mad Larkin, most paid member of chat. That's it. Sicarius, make Victrix battle line. Perfect. Literally perfection. So yeah, I think battle line just needs to be more interesting. Line of sight. Yeah, line of sight is an issue. Line of sight. Fuck more than Val. Line of sight is a big problem. It is so bad. Line of sight is so bad right now. The fact... I understand why. I understand 100% why. If you can see any part of a model, you can shoot the fuck out of it. And if any part of that model can see you, they can shoot the fuck out of you. You know? I totally understand why. It is, for line of sight purposes, the simplest and most effective in terms of like gameplay the line of sight has ever been. It doesn't mean, even though it functionally works, it doesn't mean it's good. It doesn't mean it's good. And why am I saying fuck Morven Val? I'll tell you why. Morven Val is such a problem when it comes to this. She's a unique problem to have. Because Morven Val, as you can see, on our handy I'm a 3D designer and I'm going to steal his model preview, is that she's quite low to the ground. She's on a 60mm base, but she's quite low to the ground, but she sticks her spear out, okay? Quite far away from the base, you know? Now, the thing is with it, is because of this, she can draw line of sight from the tip of her spear, and because she's quite small, she can quite comfortably hide behind buildings and shoot from that tip, which is extremely shit from a game design. I don't blame anyone who does it, but that model can get in the bin. Are people seriously doing that? Katakari, yeah, 100%. Because all that happens is on my very, very scientific sheet is like Morven Val will be there, you know. She'll be stood there, but then there'll be a 40k building in the way. You know, there'll be a nice little building in the way. And it'll be like... it'll be like this, right? It'll be like this. One sec, let me just make it bigger so it works. It's like, right guys, one sec. I'm just gonna shoot with my Morven Val. Perfect. Can you see? Can you see Morven Val's tip? Can you see that? Because that is all you need to shoot with Morven Val. That's all you, as long as that point. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to draw a box around it just in case. If you can see that much of Morven Val, if that much of Morven Val can see you, she can shoot you with a horrific amount of firepower. That's it. That's all she needs to see. And then you try and get line of sight to it, and you're like, oh, can I see the tip of this sword? Are you fucking joking? That's it. It's a shit example. I'm using MS Paint rather than Photoshop, but you get the idea. That's all she needs. That's it. That's if you've ever played against Morven Val in a tournament, that's what you'll see of her. You'll see the little tip, the little tiny spear tip. That's it. You don't need to see anything else. She doesn't need to see anything else of you. And then she'll move and she'll do the same again on the other side of the building. And the thing is with it is not talking about pivoting, but pivoting's an issue as well because like she can like think about where this is, right? Think about where this is, and then think about where that is, and she's moved 0 inches, by the way. You know? Like pivoting is another thing. I think pivoting helps make movement much easier. But like, just for reference, is this line of sight from here and line of sight from there, even though that's probably about 10 inches distance, like a wingspan of 10 inches, she's moved. She's not technically moved. She's moved to 0 inches if you look at the pivot rules as well. I prefer to shoot from the tip. Fuck's sake, guys. Come on! I'm having a very serious conversation about how bullshit Morven Val is. Stop talking about the tip of your penis. Put it away. Anyway, it's so dumb. Line of sight is an issue. Base to base, maybe. Base to base, but then not everything is on a base. Silhouettes is one way to do it. I can't believe I've never done this, Kayari. Don't tell me you walk Morven Val into the open to shoot. Don't say that. Don't tell me you walk Morven Val into the open to shoot. Now you can shoot from the end of the weapon. So base to base could work, but not everything's on a base, you know. So that's it. All suddenly out the window. Then you're on the hull. What counts as the hull? You know? Because if you say the hull, then you get, again, another problem. Another problem is this guy. You measure to the hull, right? Akuno! Thank you. Thank you for being a member for so long, dude. Thank you so much for the 38 months, Akuno. Let me get into the giveaway before I forget. Akuno Matata. What a wonderful phrase. I also don't agree. I don't think that's a big issue. No, not antennas, not spiky bits. This prick. You can measure to fight engagement range is any part of the hull. Where is the hull on this model? Where is the hull on this model? This fucker can charge the top of buildings because any part of the model, because he's not on a base, is also the tip of the axe. So what you can do is you can have him holding the axe out like this. You know, you can have him holding the axe out like this, and now he can charge stuff 10 inches high, if not higher. Also Vindicator. Yeah, Vindicator's an issue. Because any part of the hull is also the axe in this instance. Because what is a hull? We all know what a hull is. Really, the hull is this bit down here. This isn't a hull. This is a body. You know? But you can charge this tip of the axe here. You can measure engagement range from there. I mean, combat because you're within an inch of this. For some reason. The crap sitting in half. Oi! Change engagement range to 5 inches vertically. Yeah, but this is already 15 inches tall. It can charge stuff 20 inches vertically. So I think, like, yeah, like, what counts as where you can measure from if it's not on a base needs addressing, but just base to base in general needs to, like, line of sight in general. Line of sight in general is a problem. I just need to quickly tell Discord. If you're doing the Secret Santa, great job. If you want to do the Secret Santa, I don't have. There's a Hellstorm Discord Secret Santa. If you're watching me live, there's a Hellstorm Secret Santa. You should have got involved. I don't have anything to open. It hasn't arrived, and I think that's the case for a lot of people. So I'm just kind of decide should I join or not. It's 9 o'clock now, but I don't have anything. I'm a bit like, you know. I might wrap it up and join it anyway. Because it'd be nice to chat to people. Mikey's keeping out his own Secret Santa. I don't have anything. I don't have anything to open. I would join otherwise. But there's a lot of people saying they can't make it. But the guy running it, Mercenary, you in the chat now? He said he couldn't make it either. Someone ring the shame bell. Yeah. Let me just quickly fix it. The Secret Santa we got 1 billion at everyone's about. It was like 1, wasn't it? Maybe 2. Let me just do how do you do a poll? Chat, how do you do a poll? Delay or open? Open and fix. It was like 3 in the space of 2 minutes. Well, that's just fucking... That's mercenary. Is that... Shall I fire mercenary? Do you want me to do that? Exclamation point Discord, by the way. I love that we're doing a Secret Santa, but it feels like everyone ordered from places that have nothing in stock. There's like 9 people, or whatever. I don't know how many there is, but loads of people that don't have anything. One of them being me. So it seems silly to join in when we don't have anything, you know what I mean? Oops, I didn't mean to join. Sorry, I'm live. I shouldn't join. Let me just quickly sort this. There's a literally 50-50 vote. Maggie's skipping out on his own Secret Santa. Shame. Hold it in England, right? It would be hard measuring from there all the time. I agree. Remove terrain from the game. Definitely, I heard you love that. I heard you love removing terrain. River Knight's never been able to fight things on the second floor. Yeah, I think the 5 inches high is a great idea. I think 5 inches high is a great idea, but then there's like weird times where it's like, well, you can measure from the hull because it's not on a base, which made sense for like charging a unit that doesn't have a base, can't measure to a base. But then there's like fucking like things like the Lord of Skulls. So like, where's the base finish? You know what I mean? How about that plastic see-through terrain? That plastic see-through terrain was rough. It's just funny that someone made it, wasn't it? There is a giveaway. Yeah, we're doing a giveaway, Kuno. All through December, if people donate, if people support, gift, etc. We have an Iron Halo Strike Force that we're giving away on New Year's Eve. So you're in the giveaway, so don't worry about it. But if you'd like to support more, not just you, but anyone who's watching, super chats, becoming members, resubbing, gifting memberships, I'll be entered in to win this bad boy. It comes with quite a lot, to be fair. How many people are in this channel? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there a Secret Santa Discord call? Yes, there is. Are you not in? You're not in the Secret Santa. Well, if you win here in New Zealand, Lena Ross, 1, I hate myself. 2, I hate my wallet. 3, you can still enter. So don't worry about it. If you're in New Zealand, crack on. You're not what you wanted to watch. I think I'm going to go do that chat anyway. I'm going to go hang out with people doing the Secret Santa. I apologise, I've cut it off a little bit early. But I think we've got some good stuff there. Jace, thank you for the 5, dude. Jace, thanks so much for the 5 gift. I really appreciate it. Very kind of you. Merry Christmas to you. That's 4. That's 5. he just counted. Oops. I think we've got some good stuff there, to be honest. I think we've got some good... I don't think there's anything else that's like there's like a crazy amount, a crazy problem. I think they are like my core issues with the games. I love 40k. I think 10th edition is great. I think I'm having the most fun with Warhammer right now. It was when I was in Japan, it was the first time I missed Warhammer. Like, I really just wanted to play. I was desperate to play Warhammer. I just wanted to run some stompy robots, you know what I mean? I think they're my core problems. I think missions are repetitive. They have so much more play with secondary. Fly's broken. War gear's a problem. Reroll fishing's cringe and annoying. Codex rules to access are annoying. When leading's rubbish. Battle shock is rubbish. Not having to take battle line is stupid. And line of sight is an issue. I don't think there's anything else that's like extreme, right? Time to give every model a base. I think every model does need a base, yeah. Every model gets a base. See-through bases are the best. I don't mind the idea of see-through bases. I just think they always look poo because they're just acrylic sheets laser cut. I think if they were similar to GW bases in terms of shape, I think that'd be fine. Dog! Merry Christmas, everyone. Love this community. Love 40k. Well, we love you too, dude. Thank you so much, dude. Dog! Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the 29 months at Parasocial tier. Absolute legend. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas to everyone. Yeah, the Defiler's on a base. Yeah, I think everything should be on a base. I think the Lord of Skulls should be on a base. I don't care how big that base is. If you bought a Lord of Skulls, you deserve it. How do I transport this? I don't fucking care. I don't give a fuck. Transport it. It's your problem, not mine. Are we getting a Wednesday morning Christmas Eve? Wednesday morning stream Christmas Eve? Yes. There will be a Wednesday morning stream on Christmas Eve. And there'll be a little Christmas stream on Christmas Day as well. Probably around 12. The Christmas Eve stream will be cut short because that's the day I do family stuff. But there will be a stream Wednesday morning, definitely. It won't be a full long stream. That's the other problem. I wanted to finish Dawn of War Prologue, but now I'm kind of fucked it. I've kind of fucked it, really. I'm running out of time. Yeah, we'll do a reaction to the Christmas Day reveal. Definitely. But yeah, we'll do a little Christmas Day stream. So the plans for this streams this week, chat, is obviously I've done tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. There'll be a shorter stream, but a normal stream on Wednesday, on Christmas Eve. There'll be a stream on Christmas Day. If people, my thought process with that is I like to stream on Christmas Day in case you're bored because you've like been with family all day. Want a little 5 minutes? Come hang out with the boys, have a chat. And also, if you're not doing anything for Christmas, you don't like Christmas, or you just want to chat to people, you know, just chat a bit of Warhammer for an hour or so. You know, just so you're not. If there's one person watching who like hates Christmas and they're on their own this Christmas and they watch my stream for an hour and get a little giggle, that's what I want. You know what I mean? So there'll be a short stream on Christmas Day and there won't be a stream on Friday. Okay. So instead of streaming Friday, I'm streaming a little bit on Thursday and then back to normal on Monday next week. So a week today. So, and then we'll be giving away the box on New Year's Eve. I've been told to wrap it up. I can't believe my own chat is telling me to wrap it up. I can't believe my own chat is telling me to wrap it up, fella. Time short, wrap it up. Fucking, it's like being at the Game Awards. Thank you so much, everyone, for the super chats. I'll get you into the giveaway. Do you want me to end before getting into the giveaway, Jake? That's fine. Akuno, appreciate you. Right, I'm going to go. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Love you all. Bye-bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Love you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. 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 I would even organize Secret Santa for 9 PM. Someone else did.